Hello friends, welcome to my show Facts, Figures and Quotes. Let me tell you a few things about the first Opium War. Have you heard about this? Well, it's very interesting. So let me take you through this particular topic. Friends, the first Opium War was fought over illegal opium trade. In the late 18th century, the British East India Company or EIC, contravening Chinese laws, began smuggling Indian opium to China through various means and became the leading suppliers by 1773. And by 1787, the company was illegally sending 4,000 chests of opium to China a year, each chest weighing about 170 pounds, or you could say 77 kilos. The Chinese Jai Qing Emperor passed many decrees making opium trade illegal in 1729, 1799, 1814 and 1831, but smuggling still continued as the British paid smugglers kept taking opium to China, causing the population to become more and more addicted to it. This in turn led to tons of opium in China's market. Some Americans too entered the trade by smuggling opium from Turkey into China. Some of these individual American opium smugglers included the grandfather of President Franklin D. Roosevelt and ancestors of Secretary of State John Forbes Carey. By 1833, the number of chests of opium trafficked into China soared to some 30,000. According to United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the East India Company sent opium to their warehouses in the free trade region of Canton, also known as Guangzhou, from where Chinese smugglers would take the opium deeper into China. In 1834, the East India Company monopoly ceased, but the illegal trade, however, continued. In 1839, after Chinese scholar Lin Tse-hsu wrote a letter to the British monarch, Queen Victoria, pleading for a halt of opium contraband, ignored until now, the Chinese emperor issued a proclamation ordering the seizure of all the opium in Canton, including that held by foreign governments, and placed matters in the hands of the scholar Lin Tse-hsu. The smugglers lost 20,000 chests, which was about 1,300 metric tons of opium, without any compensation. China initially attempted to get foreign companies to forfeit their opium stores in exchange for tea, but this ultimately failed. Then China resorted to using force in the Western merchants' enclave. Forces confiscated all supplies and ordered a blockade of foreign ships to get them to surrender their illegal opium supply. The British Trade Commissioner in Canton, Captain Charles Elliot, wrote to London advising the use of military force against the Chinese. Almost a year passed before British government decided in May 1840 to send troops to impose reparations for the economic losses of the British illegal traders in Canton, including financial compensation and to guarantee future security of smugglers. However, the first hostilities that had occurred some months earlier with a skirmish between British and Chinese vessels in the Kowloon estuary on 4th September 1839. On 21st June 1840, a British naval force arrived off Macau, then moving to bombard the port of Tingha. In the ensuing conflict, the Royal Navy used its naval and gunnery power to inflict a series of decisive defeats on the Chinese Empire, a tactic later referred to as gunboat diplomacy. The war was concluded by a Treaty of Nanking or Nanjing in 1842. It was the first of the treaties between Chinese and foreign and illegal drug trading imperialist powers. The treaty forced China to give up the Hong Kong island with surrounding smaller islands to the United Kingdom in perpetuity, and it established 5 treaty ports at Shanghai, Canton, Ningpo, Fuzhou and Amoy, that is Xiamen. The treaty also demanded a $21 million payment to Great Britain with 6 billion paid immediately and the rest through specified installments thereafter. Another treaty the following year gave most favored nation to the British Empire and added provisions for British extraterritoriality. France secured concessions on the same terms as the British in treaties of 1843 and 1844. Well, the Opium War did not stop there. It was followed by a second Opium War that I'll take up later. And for now, goodbye and see you soon.